All right, y'all, we are back with another video. And that's the reason why I always say put prayers for Donald Trump in the comment section. We must protect President Trump. It always something going on. So we get this video from Fox News and said that gunshots was fired near Donald Trump's vicinity, but the former president is safe. Thank God. So we about to jump straight into this and see exactly what happened. But the main thing is that we are glad that the president is safe. And I think they say he was golfing or something like that. He was golfing when these shots rang out towards him. So let's go ahead and dive straight into this from Fox News, and let's see exactly what happened. All right, let's go.
Well, this is a Fox News alert. Former President Trump is safe after gunshots were reported while he was golfing at his club in West Palm Beach at the Trump International Golf Course, not Mar-a-Lago. The former president is fine, his campaign says. Those shots were fired in the vicinity of the golf course. We're now waiting for an update from the Secret Service and police about all this. Hello and welcome to Fox News Live. I'm Eric Shawn.
And I'm Marthel Neville. So the Trump campaign did not specify where those shots may have been fired. And this, of course, is coming 2 months after the former president was shot at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. And we do have Sean Hannity. Sean is going to join us live right now from your home studio. Sean, unfortunately, we're talking about this very subject today, unfortunately. But What do you know? Have you spoken to the former president?
I've spoken to the president, and I spoke to his golf partner, Steve Witkoff, a well-known developer, businessman in Miami in the Palm Beach area. So I got a lot of details. I'm very aware of the New York Post report that said that it was, well, outside of what's called Trump International in West Palm Beach, which is where I am. And anyway, so long story short, is President Trump, they were on the fifth hole, they were about to go up to putt, and the way Steve Witkoff, now, just as a little bit of background, Arthel, I happened to go to breakfast with Steve Witkoff and another friend of mine this morning, and I was invited to play golf. They happen to be really good golfers. I don't have a lot of time to play golf, so I said thank you, but I'm not going to go out on the golf course and get killed out there. But long story short, so they were playing, they were on the fifth hole. And the way Steve described this, the way the president described it, they both had exactly the same story, which was that they heard pop, 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 pop. And Steve went into great specificity and great detail as to what happened right after. Within seconds, the Secret Service pounced on the president, covered him. You had snipers with tripods. They knew the direction where the shots had been fired, and they had eyes on the location where the shots had been fired. And long story short, they were. I have confirmed with both the president and with Mr. Witkoff that the gun has been found. Okay. They identified it as an AK-47. And thanks to Secret Service drone video coverage, they were able to identify one individual involved in this shooting getting into a car after dropping the AK-47. And my understanding, according to both of them, is that that car has been identified, and I believe it's been surrounded. Whether or not that person has been apprehended or not, I don't know. This happened in a matter of seconds. A little more color, a little bit more details on this is that when they got on top of the president, immediately what is called a fast cart that I believe has steel reinforcement and protection was able to whisk the president away. And then the Secret Service immediately sprung into action. They had eyes on where the shooting had occurred. I saw the New York Post report that these were two people shooting at each other outside the course. I do know, and they did confirm that the shots were outside of the course, but certainly seemingly within range of the former president. So we don't have any details on any of that. They don't know that part. I only know the part of what they experienced while they were playing golf at Trump International in West Palm. Thankfully, the president is safe. Steve Witkoff is safe. The Secret Service apparently acted with incredible speed and professionalism, and but certainly alarming in every way imaginable in light of what happened in Butler, as you mentioned.
Yeah, of course, this is very alarming. And Sean, have you spoken to the former president or texted with him?
I have spoken with the president 3 times since this incident, and each time I got a new piece of information. One, that they had found, first of all, what happened with the shooting. The second thing, that they had found an AK-47. Third,
Right.
that their drone footage was able to give them enough surveillance to identify the exact car that the individual involved in this shooting got into. And further detail that they gave me was that they were updated and told that that car had been found, identified, was surrounded by law enforcement. I don't know what happened from there. It could not have been too far away. I would say the time frame was less than a half hour between the time that the shooting actually took place and they identified the car. So
I'm trying
on all
to
fronts,
find out,
Wow.
like, how is he doing? That's what we want to know. How is he doing, if you spoke to him?
You know, well, you really want to know the truth, Arthel? He goes, well, there's more details, because I did hear, and Steve Witkoff was very clear. The first thing the president did when he got back to the clubhouse was make sure that everybody else was okay. He didn't see his golf partner with him. Where's Steve? Where's Steve? Where's Steve? And then Steve says, I'm right here. He got in maybe a few minutes behind the president. The Secret Service was able to get everybody to safety. Everybody else was taken off the golf course. Then when the president found out everybody was safe and nobody had been harmed, I guess in typical fight fashion, Trump said to Steve, and then he related to me, I really wanted to finish the hole. I was even, and I had a birdie putt, and it was on the fifth hole, which shows a lot of I think guts and gumption, and very Trumpian, I guess, in every way. But you know, the good news we can report is that in spite of this being in such close proximity to the president and others and the Secret Service, that they were not harmed, and that they are in safety. And I know the investigation will go forward. Probably more details, I would imagine, as time unfolds.
Sean,
So the main thing is, we just happy that President Trump is safe, especially when you got people firing guns, you know, in the vicinity of President Trump, because bullets just go. Especially when you got people out there just shooting, bullets just go and just hit anybody. So the good thing is that President Trump is safe. And then I did see on Twitter that they found the shooter, that the police got the shooter. You know who it was when they found the AK-47. So I mean, this right here is just crazy. There's always something going on. People have nothing else better to do but be out doing something stupid, shooting assault rifles and stuff like that. I mean, we are just so sick of this crap. We're so sick of it. All of a sudden, President Trump is, playing golf, and then all of a sudden, shots just fire off, and then the person drop their gun, get in the car, and try to run off. So shout out to the Secret Service for staying on top of everything, making sure the president is safe, and we'll see if Sean Hannity got more news. But like I said before, the main thing is President Trump is safe.
For those who don't know that area, the Trump International Golf Course, West Palm Beach, across the causeway from Mar-a-Lago. I mean, it's in a residential neighborhood. You've got, Burger Kings and convenience stores all around. Any word do we know from police? Was this gang-related shooting, 2 gunmen shooting at each other's? And you've got to hand it to the Secret Service to have it drawn up and to be able to identify this, so quickly.
Right. There was only one credible news report that I saw, and it was a part of News Corp, which runs the Fox News channel, came from the New York Post, that they believed the shooting was between 2 people outside of the golf course. But there's not a lot of details to that as of this moment. Now, I would assume we're going to get more information from the Secret Service. I know that there were at least 30 to 50 sheriff and West Palm Beach police there. They responded immediately. I happened to be driving in and around the area. I drove past Mar-a-Lago to see what was going on. There was a heavy police presence. Ever since the shooting in Butler, that had been a very common scene, but not like this. It was more active than usual. But the fact that everybody's okay and 4 shots were fired, it is It's honestly, it's disheartening on one level, it's sad on another level, and it's scary on a level that, you know, somebody with an AK-47 could be that close to the president or former president and top presidential candidate, and, you know, just 50 days before an election.
Yeah, and you're right. That is very scary. That close to the president with an AK-47, that close. Because like I said before, you know, bullets fly everywhere. Bullets don't have a name on it. They fly everywhere. And I'm so glad that the president is safe and nobody else was out there was harmed. And I'm even glad how the president didn't even start back golfing. He was checking to make sure everybody that was there was safe. Hey, where's this person? Where's this person? Is they okay? That's the president we need, to make sure everybody, not just himself, make sure everybody else is safe. When he found out he's safe, he wanted to make sure everybody else was safe. That's what we need. That's who we need in office.
You're right. It's very disturbing. Everybody's nerves are on edge. And as you just told us, the president, former president, his true fashion, that he has, you know, kind of sucked it up and just said, look, I'm okay. My people are okay. And I wish I had finished my golf round there. But it is a very tense time. And we don't know exactly right now if, in fact, this was something that was directed at the president or this was something happening you know, separate from him, but it definitely was too close for comfort, given what happened on July 13th in Butler, Pennsylvania.
Too close.
I think, Arthel, you're raising a really good question, and we'll find out. And I never like to rush to judgment, and it has served me very well in my career. And I think that's why we got Ferguson, Missouri, right, and Duke Lacrosse, and UVA, and Freddie Gray in Baltimore. And early in my career, when the Atlanta Journal-Constitution said that Richard Jewell fit the profile of the lone bomber because he lived with his mother. I was on the air at the time. I didn't know that Richard Jewell was even listening to my show. I found out later. And I said, just because he lives with his mother does not fit the profile of somebody that would be involved in a bombing. So when situations like this do unfold, I think the important thing to do is wait for the details to come in. The good news that we can tell you, I can add one little piece to the equation, is that the president got home very late last night. He had a rally, I believe it was in Salt Lake. He flew in, maybe got to Palm Beach around 2:30 in the morning. And when I went to breakfast that was planned with Steve Witkoff and another friend of ours, and when I went to breakfast with them this morning, we went to our favorite diner, and it's called City Diner, by the way. We went there, and the president had written him when he got back, any chance you want to play golf tomorrow, because he had a scheduled lunch with the president. I was not a part of that. So long story short is that, you know, as of now, we know everybody's okay, but we've got to understand what the perimeter is, in my view, Arthel, which is what you were saying. You know, in other words, I would say we define a perimeter for any elected official, Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative, I don't care, that it's got to be within any distance of any long, high-powered rifle. That's got to be considered the perimeter going forward. We saw the Democratic senator this week telling America they're going to be shocked and appalled at what we learn about the Butler shooting. And we'll have an interim report coming out maybe this week or next week. And those words are chilling. That's Senator Blumenthal that made those comments. So long story short, I think there's a lot more that we have to find out. I'd like to hear from the Secret Service. I'd like to hear from law enforcement. I feel like a lot of information in the Butler shooting was very slow in coming forward. If this was an outside event, as the New York Post is reporting, fine. Let's get the details of that as well. The American people have a right to know, and we have to certainly re-examine what the perimeter is for any president, any presidential candidate, any high-ranking official in terms of the distance and the power of a rifle and what it could do. But to hear Steve Witkoff describe, he heard pop, 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 and the Secret Service diving on the president, and he's watching all of this unfold in real time, is a pretty chilling scenario.
It must have been really frightening and harrowing. Thankfully, Sean, the president, the former president, is okay. And it kind of reminds me, remember when President Ronald Reagan was shot. His humor, he said, when he was in the emergency room, he said, "Honey, I forgot to duck." For the former president to say, I couldn't finish my fifth hole. Certainly authorities will find out what happened here and if this indeed is a street crime.
He said that directly to me. Eric, he said, well, and then Steve Witkoff confirmed it. Once he knew everybody was safe, his first priority, he was in a bit of a panic about where's Steve, where's Steve, where's Steve. He didn't know what had happened because he had got whisked away in a golf cart that moves like 100 miles an hour. Then Steve is watching these guys on tripods, identifying the location where the shots were fired. And so he's watching that unfold, probably seeing his life flash behind it, before his eyes. Then gets back and he's wondering, okay, where are my friends? Where are the Secret Service agents? The president did go out of his way to praise every one of these agents. Steve did say that he went up to all of them individually, thanked them, shook their hand, told them how much he appreciated them. And then he went to I was even. It was the fifth hole. I had a birdie putt. I really wanted to finish the hole. So, well, classic Trump, if you ask me.
Well,
wow.
we're happy.
That's amazing.
That, as of now, this is a good note to end on. But as you said, Sean, the investigation definitely will continue. And of course, we here at Fox will have all the details as we get them. Sean, thank you.
All right.
Sean, good.
Well, there we go right there. So we do know that the president is safe. And I mean, man, just for Donald Trump, just, looking out for everybody, he shook all the Secret Service hands, said, "Hey, I thank you. I appreciate what y'all doing for me," and stuff like that. And they always say, what do Kamala Harris always say? Oh, he only care about himself. That's just a lie. Donald Trump cares about the American people. He cares about everybody around him. You see, he was looking for Steve. You know what I'm saying? He was making sure everybody that was there, make sure that they were safe, make sure nobody was shot and stuff like that. That's the president we need. So like I said, y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about this. Like I said before, I'm just happy that nobody gets shot. President Trump is safe, and that's good for me. You know what I'm saying? So y'all let me know down below what y'all think. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.